Hello all, Havoc here. Let's get ready to play some Space Engineers. Okay, so in this episode we're going to work on a problem we've had with the Kestrel and the Scorpion. Um, I didn't have a chance to work on the Mark II Scorpion today. I just got really caught up with work and just life in general, so yeah, so I plan on doing a little bit more work on it tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. But today what we're going to do is we had one of our viewers, Jason Sullivan, who gave us a great recommendation because I've been talking about how much of a pain it is to get material into the Scorpion from the Kestrel, because everything I put into the Scorpion through a connector, it basically just immediately sucks back out because of the inventory sorting mod. Well, Jason pointed out a very cool feature of the inventory sorting mod. It works with all forms of inventory, which goes along the lines of saying that all we need to do is add some configurations to the Scorpion and we're good. So we're going to go a little bit quick example of this. Like I said, today's episode is going to be really short. I didn't have much time to get working on the Kestrel Mark II, and also have not worked on the turret. I've gotten a lot of components created for it, but have yet to actually get anything welded onto it yet. So doing things like this is definitely going to be able to make it a lot simpler for me to get both projects done easier. So before we connect, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a few things. So first things first is we need to go into the Kestrel's inventory and modify her inventory first. So let's take a look here. So we go cargo. So none of them have priority. I think actually, wait, I stand corrected. I think there's two that have priority. I'll see that. That one's broken. That needs to get fixed because that common there is going to screw everything up. Yeah, so you see large tubes P1. So that has, excuse me, oh, small burp there. That has priority 1. That has priority 1. So we need to change those to say priority 2, but we also need to do that for all the containers that have a sorter on them. And then on top of that, we're going to be doing roughly the same thing to the Scorpion, but we're also going to be adding a delineator on the end to tell it how much. So when we dock, we won't have to do any more. We need this many steel plates, we need this many this, we need this many this. So we can literally just tell it how much of what we need, and it will add that to our inventory every single time. So so we go to control panel, and so each one of these we're going to go ahead and we're going to put one of these on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and plug through this, and when I come back we will work on the Scorpion side. So a little bit labor intensive, but the advantages is going to be pretty heavy for what we're going to get in return for doing this. Because basically we'll just have to dock the Scorpion from now on and not have to. This one's going to be 3 actually, because there's another steel plates that's 2. But yeah, we'll just have to dock the Scorpion from now on, and we will have. Now see, this one doesn't have anything at all, but there's one down here that has one. So let's make this 4. Let's come down here and take a look at this one real quick. Yeah, see, this is 1. We may make this one 2. Okay. That's 4. This needs to come off because it doesn't actually have anything on it right now. So So, all right, so I'm going to continue to plug away with this, and we'll see you on the other side of the cut. Okay, so we're back, and so here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and paste this in here, and it is 500 million miles long. And so basically what I did was I opened up Notepad, and so I'll come over here, and we can look inside this container here. We're typing cargo. Oh, actually, let's do it here. So we go cargo. And so basically what I did was I copy and pasted each one of these into Notepad until I had them roughly all figured out. And so I did this for the container, and I'm going to make a separate one just for the welders, because notice the welders have a decent amount of space too. Let's see, I should be able to, let's do this. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we can give it a go. Thought one of these wasn't being used. You know, there's one on the roof, I think, that's not being used. Let's go look at that. There we go. Use that one. So, whoa, hello. No. Control. Alright, that works too. So, edit public text. Let's go like that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. But basically, I broke it down like so. Several of these are at different levels, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dock this to the Kestrel, and in doing so, this will give us an idea of how many of these are working. Because, you know, I mean, there's not everything is in here, but the majority of the stuff is. So I want to do this real quick as one more just quick double check. Not a discount double check, just a double check, to make sure that we have a bulk of them, and they're all set to priority 1. So priority 1 is my main concern. So yeah, they all are. So this is literally what I pasted into the cargo. So you can't see all of it because it's flies off the side of the screen, but this is it. So then what I'll do is for the welders, I'll do the same thing, except for I'll come back and like we don't need bulletproof glass for the welder, so we'll take that out. Small tubes, we'll put, I don't know, let's put 20 in each. Computers, we'll put 20 in each. Let's make this 10, because the welders hold such a smaller, such. This is where Havoc completes a sentence. Such a smaller volume of components. Solar panels, not at all. Thruster components, let's drop that to 100. And large tubes, we'll drop that to 20. Whoa, with extra zeros. Motors, we'll drop that to 100. Reactor components, we'll remove. Girders, we'll drop that to 100. Power cells, we'll drop that to 20. Interior plates, we'll drop that to 500. And metal grids, we're going to drop that to 500 as well. So this is basically what I want to do for a welder. So we may as well just copy and paste this in there now. Alright, so I'm going to do is copy this out to Word real quick, so be right back. Okay, so we are back, and making sure that all the commas and stuff are in the right place, because it's not truncated in Word. So, okay, we'll just leave that there. So, now we'll come down here and apply that to each one of the welders. In theory, this will work. So type in welder. We're going to go with WL1 and paste. Alright, so I'm going to go through here and rename these real quick. Alright, so it's 3, 4. Alright. Whoops, I screwed that one up. I screwed that one up too. Way to go, Havoc. So WL6, 7, and 8. Alright, so I messed this one up too. Jeez. Alright. So in theory, we're going to dock this, and all those components should go to those levels. So cross your fingers and toes and anything else that kind of matters in that regard. And here goes nothing. So inventory. Okay, so our welders are over full. Not by much. It looks like the metal grids didn't make it. That's fine. I'd like to see where the cargo container went though. Let's go find that. Oh, cargo container maxed out by a lot. But yeah, that's proof of concept. This worked. So this is fantastic. So now we can go ahead and adjust these numbers down to get them to the point to where we don't overload a system. So volume 7,000 in solar panels. We're just going to pitch the solar panels. I don't think we really need them. Girders is 1,000. 1,700. See, we need interior plates. Well, we got, see the weld, this is why I doubled up on some of them, because like the welders picked up the slack where this cargo container didn't. Like we have 1,000 bulletproof glass. That's overkill. Let's see. Scorp. Cargo. Okay, so bulletproof glass 1,000. See, this is where this comes in handy. Is we don't need 1,000 bulletproof glass. Let's drop this to 200. Inventory. And I really don't think it's going to adjust. Oh, we could do this though, watch. Cargo, Castrel, so we could take this, drop this like over here, and that should bounce back. So boom, 200. And now we have something else filled in the gaps. So yeah, it's balancing out. So now it's just a matter of going through and doing some pretty basic math and figuring out where we want these levels to be across all the systems. So now we just disengage. I need to put that on a switch. I always hate it when I forget to put that on a switch. So now we just disengage, go weld some stuff up, and yeah, we're going to be productive on a pretty drastic scale now. So thanks a lot, Jason Sullivan, for the recommendation. It's something I knew was there, just never bothered to actually take the time to implement. Amazingly, we're missing a component. What are we missing? So displays and computers didn't make the mix. So, or if they did, it has 13 in it. That has none in it. So we need to add displays and computers to the mix. Small quantities. I think displays like 1,000 across the entire ship would be overkill. But we have lots of steel plates now. We don't even have to worry about docking and going to inventory management anymore. All that's just handled. Just using the mod that we already had installed, just using it a little bit more efficiently. So alright, so that's pretty awesome. So we come in here, let's get cargo. Carrego. See, there's still 5,000 steel plates in here. We haven't even touched these yet. So we're just pulling steel plates from the welders right now. So this is fantastic. Oh, you know what I forgot also? Control panel. The connector has room. Well, you can put stuff in the connector as well. We can put the displays and computers in that and not even mess with anything else. So, yeah, we're going to wrap up the episode here. Got a pretty long day ahead of me tomorrow, but stuff like this is going to make the rest of this process so much easier. This falls under the right tool for the right job, and this definitely does the trick. So once again, thanks Jason Sullivan for the recommendation. It beats the hell out of the alternatives that I was going to use. I was actually going to follow Sean's recommendation, and I had already actually planned on it to do in this episode, was to put a one-way sorter block underneath the Kestrel, where we already are darking. We're darking down here, don't you know? So yeah, I was gonna move this connector down and put the sorter block underneath it, and have it do all the work. But this is so much better. So now we just throw a camera on the back of this to make this process a little bit easier. If I would not bounce my mouse around so much. And we missed by a long shot. Boom. Inventory's full. We leave. And just like that. So we check our welders. Oh, I didn't stay connected long enough. Alright, but you guys get the idea. I got some work to do with this, and then we're going to go get, we're going to go get the turd finished off. Because like I said, I had a bunch of the components set, and then just not in the Scorpion to get welded. So, alright, so this is Havoc. Have fun. Keep gaming.